Once again, welcome everyone. So we have Google Classroom. We have a quick recap that we did last time. So any questions that you may have, kindly feel free to put it in the chat box, or if we can address it anytime at the end of the session, we'll take those questions as well. So we did Google Drive, Chrome, and Search. Today's agenda goes on to Google Classroom, our favorite tool for educators, and it was a real go-to tool during the pandemic and post-pandemic also. Some of the teachers are still working on this big time, and it's like a repository for all our resources where students don't need to look for the teacher but to come back to this resource, and it is always there for the teachers also, year after year, where it can just be simply archived and brought back or reused with the documents with a little tweaking, upgrading our docs and other tools that we have. Then we'll be going on to Google Docs and Google Scholar. So like I said, between me and Shefali ma'am, she's right there with us. We'll be taking these three topics for today. So moving on to Google Classroom, we all know it's a very hands-on class today, a session for educators because you have done the L1. So this will be really the in-depth of or some advanced tools or features of these tools that we have. So we're going to look at archiving or deleting a class. If you know how to do it, it's a quick recap for it, but we are again working just on the functionality for level 2 certification exam. However, in between, we'll be giving you glimpses or take you through the other features as well, which are relevant at that point. Create and use rubrics. Again, very interesting and I would say relatively new tool, which not many teachers are using it. Grade and return assignments, and then adding or removing email guardians. Again, interesting one, and you have the control to do it, activate or disable it. So benefits of Google Classroom, we already know that saves time. And, you know, for me personally as a teacher, Google Classroom comes at, it's a go-to tool for teachers, for anybody who's collaborating as a co-teacher in your class, and you have one platform which is safe for students. You can add videos, you can add sheets, you can put material for their studies, you can put quizzes all through this, and a lot of add-ons have recently been enabled through Google, which are third party, and you can always get those activated and take full benefit of those, like Canva, like Kahoot. All of those are very interesting, and they just go and blend into your classroom beautifully. So yes, you can again have groups of your Google Classroom wherein it individualizes their learning, and you can go on to one student approach. So that is again their report of missing or upcoming work to the student or to the parent through the summary, and then again it's one place to turn in all your work. So we are going to look at let's say quick hands-on directly onto Google Classroom. So 1 second, I'm just gonna. So this is the Google Classroom interface. You have multiple classrooms. I'm sure if you're using it for a long time or you're using it for the exam perspective, you've created your own Google Classrooms for demo purposes, for practice, or you've been added on to many classrooms. So on the left panel, which is the 3 lines, the hamburger as we call it. So this is all your menu that it gives you. So within this menu, you've got all the classrooms that you have. And towards the bottom, you've got your archived classes, the classes that you've said bye-bye to, but they're still there. You can bring it back to life anytime you'd like. And those classes, these are the ones which I have archived. And then these are the ones which immediately the students get off access, but you have them and you can revive them anytime. You can take assignments from them. All of that can be done through the archiving. So let's see how that is done. We are right here. I will choose maybe demo class. On this class, the bottom right corner, you've got these 3 dots which says more. You click on those, and right at the bottom, you have archive. So you click on that. It asks you, these classes will be archived. They can't be modified by teachers or students unless they are restored. Like I said, they can be. And here, since you are there on this archive option, you can always choose multiple classes. So you don't have to go one by one on those 3 dots, but all these active classes that you have, which are your working classes, you can always archive them from here all together at once. So you click on next. It says again a little pop-up that says archiving classes causes it to be archived for all participants unlike your SIS. If your class is linked, you can't, archive classes can't be modified by teachers. We just saw that. Still, teachers can preview or export items from a class page if it has been shared with them. So you can again take stuff from there, yet can be archived, and the files remain in your drive. So they are not deleted. They don't go anywhere. It just declutters your main home page, your interface, which makes it easy for you to work. So it's just an organizational factor. We click on archive. So my demo classroom will be archived. So you see it's gone from here. I go back to my left panel, archived classes, and you'll find demo classroom, which is the latest one right there, added on to this demo classroom. And here, if you click on the three dots again, you can always move it somewhere. You can copy it, make a copy, and then bring this back maybe. You can restore it from here, and you can completely delete it from here. You can't delete a classroom directly from the main page, but you can delete it from the archived one. So if, for example, this one is an extra one, I click on delete. I can click, it says you'll no longer have access to any post. Your classroom files will remain in the Google Drive. You can't undo this action. So you can't restore the deleted option. There's no recycle bin. The 30-day business doesn't happen here. So here you have to be very thoughtful once you're taking this step. So we're going to let it be. So that's how simple archiving and deleting is. So that's our first feature of the level 2. Now if I go to my, let's say, classroom. This is a classroom from previous year. I have here on the top right panel, I have got this Google Meet that you can initiate from the home page. You've got calendar, you've got drive, and you've got your settings. So let's quickly look at the settings. I can just shrink and collapse my menu. I don't need it to make my space and the screen a little bigger. I'll click on the settings. Here, because every time you go to Google, like I said, always listens to us as users. So there are updates coming very fast. So every time you will see, maybe you visited after a few days, something would be moved inside some other menu. Or so it's always nice to always review. So these are your class details. Here, it can be modified. It can be updated directly from here. You can go to the general, which is the invitation code, again, can be hidden from here or shown, or if you want to copy the invite, you can do it from here. Then you have all the options for streaming, wherein you want the students to only comment. At one point, I have little kids, grade 4, 5th. They started using it as a chat base because this is easy. They don't need a mobile phone. They don't need to justify their parents. They're in classroom, so the parents understand that it's for their work. But it started like a hi, hello, business posting link. So I only said, I had changed it in between, so they can only comment, they can post and comment, or only teachers can. So most of the time I have this, but when there is something that I know that they can ask questions, I write as comment. So that could be done. The notifications can be condensed, or it can be elaborate with details, or you can hide the notifications. Well, I keep it condensed so they get it. And then I can also have this for other co-teachers, the deleted items. Again, guardian access, this is by default disabled. We are going to look at it, how to work on this. But here is where you need to turn it on. So guardian access, would you like to enable guardian email summaries? So for all the classes or just this class? So from one setting, you can see there are a lot of options. Like we saw in archiving, once you click on it, it asks whether you want to do it for all the classroom. Maybe you've got 5 classrooms this year. You don't have to go in each classroom and in the settings and do it from there, but you can do it all from one point at the same time. So this is where you can toggle it on or off. Here it says manage meet link. Again, you can change the link, whether it's visible, and that's on the home page. Then the marking scheme, we are going to look at that a little later. So this is where you have it. Anything you change, make sure you save it. Otherwise, it will not be saved. So this is something manual like you do in Gmail. We learned it for level 1. On the left side, you see it's the quick link. This is something new wherein you can add, for example, you have a class website that you want kids to refer to, or it's like a portfolio, class portfolio that you always have, for your reservoir of your resources, and kids can go back and forth onto this. Anything you teach, you're putting it as units, like a web page you're creating. Now that we are all working on Gemini. Gemini has that area where you can generate web pages directly through your sources that you have, and that web page can be added onto your website through Google Sites. We'll look at that as well towards the end of this series. So here, this is where you add a link. Let's say I have a link, make it very easy. I have a link called videos, and then I go to, imagine this is my class website, but it's not. So youtube.com, and I add a link here. So I can add as many links as there. So kids don't have to scroll between different work areas, or they don't have to scroll between different folders in your classwork. They can directly click on this. And once they click on this, a sub tab opens, or anything that you want them to open will open. It's a quick reference tool for them, so they don't have to look anywhere. So that's a new feature. On the left, you have got Meet here, which is visible to students. Again, you can turn it off once you know there's no need for Meet. Otherwise, there is a tendency that kids start their own meets during their free time. So you, as a teacher, can change it. These are again 3 buttons. You can manage this from here, and it goes to the settings of your link. You can make it not visible to students right from here. You can even give it go by copying, resetting the link if you know that this link is out and the students are misusing it, or to keep it safe every 3 months, maybe you reset it however you want it, or you can completely remove it from the home page without going to the settings. Here is the class code. You click on the display and it becomes bigger when you're working on the screen. In the beginning of the year, I always make sure if we have device accessible in classroom during that day. Past 2 years I've been doing that. Before that, I was sending it to the students either by school email or through parents, which would take time, and you have to remind few students to join the classroom. So I started this new thing wherein you can just share this code on the screen in your classroom on smartboard, and kids do it right there, not even going to their Gmails. And then you've got any upcoming work comes here. We all are aware this was part of level 1. So that's your interface. Our next feature on classroom we will look at is rubrics. So one thing we know of is marks. The scores that you give to your students, those can be downloaded as CSV files. However, the rubrics can be downloaded as Google Sheets. So we have to create those rubrics. Let's look at that. To save time, I've made one for you. So I'm going to go to classroom. These are my folders. And if I have to open, let's say this reflexive pronouns, there is a quiz, a video. And here, if I click on view instructions, I will create a rubric right here for this particular homework. Now, before I go there, I will quickly want to show you how a set rubric would look like. So here I have a transport quiz in geography. If you look at it, it says a rubric with 4 criteria points. So I will view instructions. I open my, this is an old quiz. So I open my instructed work. I will click on this rubric. And look at that. My rubric has been created. And this was not a pre-made template. I had generated it on my own. Again, to make your work easy, use Gemini. Give it a right prompt, and it will generate nice rubrics for you based on your requirement. You can give it the competency that you want, and it will generate it. It will ask you can ask it to generate the grading. You can ask it to generate your prompts for description of each of the head under the rubric. For example, mine was understanding of volcanoes, research and content, creativity and visuals. So this was a project that I did on volcanoes in geography. And after that, they had a presentation, they had to make models, and they had to present it in front of the class. So, and then it also depended on the work that they did together in collaboration. So that was one. Then how was the text, all of that. So, and finally the presentation skills. So I have given it a grade from 4, 3, 2, 1. I gave it like excellent, good, needs improvement, and beginning. Like I said, before I started using rubrics, it looked like a task to me. However, no, like I said, use the AI to your ease. Gemini, again, a go-to tool. Ask it to generate a rubric for grade, whatever, and for the topic, depending on what all you want, presentation, content, clarity, understanding. With right descriptors, it will give you something, and then you can always modify, edit, or tweak it according to your requirements. So now this is how a rubric looks like. Once you have a rubric, it will appear like a little bar here, which is clickable, and you can go into its setting, which we just saw. Now, how to make this? So we'll go back to our task. We go to, let's say, this reflexive pronoun back. And then I will create a rubric. So I will open my assignment. I will click on edit. Once I click on edit, by default, it has been given 10 points. If you look here on the right, it is going to all my students. There is a date that it was due. Next, it says the topic. And this is where at the bottom it says generate a rubric. I click on that. It says either I reuse the rubric. So I can reuse what I already had. Let's look at how to do that. So if I say reuse, it will ask me where do you want. So it is identifying within this classroom, there is one rubric that's there with 4 criteria, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there's 16 points. And I can also at the same time click on this. I have other classes. So maybe I had created a rubric elsewhere, which I want to import in this. That also is possible. But for the moment, once you click on this, you select, you can even preview it. You see the rubric is automatically added. So you didn't have to do anything much. Once I click on this, I click on the 3 dots on the top right. I can still edit this rubric. So, like I said, it depends on which topic you're doing. You maybe have to delete. So if I click on edit, I have my rubric open. I can always minus the 0.1. I can totally delete my 0.1, delete this level. I only want to give 2, 3, or 4 scores, or I don't want to give any excellence because I know the topic is very tricky. I can click on the 3 dots and delete this level. And right away, if you see, for this level, it is deleted. I can add more criterion into it. The criteria, all these criterions are here. I can maybe have only 3 criteria. So this is how you can edit it, but don't forget to save it. If I don't, I will keep the 4th one will come back again. I just close it. It says you are leaving it. Yes, discard. And right here, I have again the 4 criteria rubric. Now I don't want this rubric. We will create from scratch. So let's delete this one. So that's how you can reuse it. Now import from Sheets this rubric. If there is something already on Google Sheets that you have from maybe the past, again, like I said last time, if you have something that you've made in any other tool other than Google Sheets, you can always upload it into your drive and it will take the format as Google Sheets, and then you can import those rubrics through that, and you can always share it with a co-teacher. So they also can add their input to it. You can work as in collaboration. So that also is a possibility. This is importing rubric entities into your classroom. Now here is create rubric. This is what we are going to do. We are going to click on this, the criterion title. So we are going to maybe say maps. Let's do that. I can give it criterion description or can leave it. It's optional. Now, by default, the point is 1. I can give it like a 3-point rubric. Level title can be like I gave it excellent, and I can give it a description. Now for description, I've already copy pasted, I've opened a rubric to save time. So I can just say Control C, Control V. Okay. I can even, instead of maps, I can always change it as maybe I'm doing an assessment, for example, in geography again. This is a wrong topic though, but a geography again, or let's say nouns. Within pronouns, reflexive pronouns, I'm doing it as nouns. I will add on the right side is where you add the levels. At the bottom, add a criterion is where you add your second criteria. So here I'm going to give it as 2, good. And here I'm going to just do right here, description. I go to the next one. I again give it this time 0.1. And I go to satisfactory. And I can give it maybe the description as this. So this is done. Can even remove this space right here. Okay. And then I can add my criteria. This time I'm going to give it like pronouns. And I give it like again 0.3. Same, excellent. Description, let's say ABC. Let's do that. Next, I have 0.2. Good. And UVW. And next day I have 0.1. XYZ. And I've got the description. Sorry, level is satisfactory. And I have the description as XYZ. I'm done. I don't want to do any more. Now, when your criteria will be clubbed, it is 3 plus 3, 6 marks. Right here, this will be 4, and this will be if the child is getting all of that. So here, I will click on save. So it's on maximum of 6. That is what a child can get. So you have 2 criteria rubric. The other one we had was 4. And you have got 6 points here. So my rubric is done. I can change the points because it is on 10. I can change it to 6. And I click on save. Are you sure you want to update your point value system? Yes, because I moved it down from 10 to 6. Once this is done, my rubric is right here. I click on this. This is how my rubric will look like. Now here, if you click on the 3 dot, you can export this rubric to sheets. So right here, it is creating and exporting my sheet. So here it is done. So it has exported my rubric content into a Google Sheet, which further can be taken to, you don't have to name it, it's already given, and you can share it with a co-teacher right here, collaborate with the teacher. So we did 1 nouns, and you had 3, 2, 1, you had got the content that you wanted, then you had the descriptions, the pronoun 3, 2, 1, and then the description. So this can be shared through this top right button, and that's how rubrics can be exported to sheets. So this is how rubrics work. Once you are done with the rubric, you close. Now I go to student work. Once I go to student work, I can see the students are here who completed it. This is their work. And I have their scores. I can give the scores manually right here. So you see it is on 6 now. The moment I click on the child, now it is rubric based. So there are 2 ways to grade your children, either by giving them scores or giving them rubrics. So right here, I say, okay, this child has done very good. And on pronouns, it's done fairly okay. So that makes it automatically 5 on 6. And you see, this also has changed 5 on 6 right to Adam. Next, if I have this child, because remember we changed the grades. This was manual entry on 10. Now my rubric has changed and this child was perfect. So I gave this child a 6 on 6. I just have to choose here and my rubric takes it all on its own. And here also, I open the rubric. I say, okay, 3 and okay, I pronoun not very clear. So 4 on 6. So my child Vikrant has got 4 on 6. These ones have not yet done it, so it's missing. So that's how rubric happens. Now here, if you see, you can download the scores or upload the scores onto CSV. So here it says download all the marks as CSV and copy them to Google Sheets. So please make sure rubrics can be imported or downloaded onto Google Sheets, but your grades or scores or these points can be downloaded as CSV. So there's a difference. So that is all about rubrics. Next we have is, I think, almost the last topic on Google Classroom, which is Guardian Summary. Now we go to people, and this is where you will see all your participants. So here, these are all your participants. The 3 dots tell you email the student, remove the student, or mute the student. In the middle, these blue ones are guardians, invite guardians. And if you see, some of them have already been invited. So here, and they have been blacked out. So here. Now, if I have to imagine this Jasmine, I have to invite the guardian. So I will click on this guardian. I will type in the email address if I have. I will right now do it for myself, so you know how it will be sent as an invitation. And I click on that. My email is selected. So for you, you will select it as your parent and you invite. Once the invite is sent, you will see Jasmine Bhutani. The invite has been sent to the parent. Once this is done, I will go to my Gmail right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Like you can see, this is my classroom, right? I have already named it as Little Kingdom. Now I want to change it, right? I want to rename it as, say, Shifali's class, right? How to go about it? I'll simply open my classroom, will get into the setting gear icon that is onto the right-hand side top corner of the screen. Here you can see, right? So you just need to click on the setting gear icon, and when you click here, your setting gets open. Now here your class details are available. Okay, so right below class details, the class name is given. So anytime whenever you want to change the name of your classroom, you just need to open your classroom, go to the setting gear icon, click, and here you can click and rename it. So I'll just delete this and will rename it as, say, Shifali's class. Right? Once I have changed the name, I'll just click on save. That's again onto the top right hand side top corner, right? We'll click on save. And now my classroom name is changed and it will be visible to my students as well. So I hope this is clear. Yeah, it will be great if you can give me a thumbs up. Okay, so moving forward, as in how to give marks using rubrics, right? So I'll just see if I have a rubric over here. Okay. Yes, I do have. So I'll just open, right? I need to open my assignment that I have assigned to the students, right? Now, the number of students, those who have submitted the work will definitely come under student work. Here in instructions, it will show me what all instructions or what all assignment I have given. So I need to give marks to my students. So I'll go to my student work. We'll check how many of them have submitted the work, right? So once, suppose one child had submitted, so I'll just open that candidate's page over here, right? We'll see the work. The moment you will open the page to see the work of the child, the rubric will appear here automatically if you have created. Right. So actually, rubric is being created to maintain uniformity. As educators, we all know that. Right now, here you just need to select the criteria. Right. How many levels you have created. For example, when we give an essay to the students and we need to evaluate the same. Right now, I need to maintain a uniformity throughout that. Okay, everybody's marks should be justified. So we create criteria for the same thing. Like, okay, if 4 spelling errors are there, I'll cut 1 mark. If there are 10 spelling mistakes, then I'll cut 2 marks, right? So we can create category. And once you have gone through the entire student work, like here, the work of the child is attached. I just need to open the work, and onto the right hand side only, it will show me the rubric as well. So you can see the child work here in between, right? And then you can select the rubric accordingly, and it will total up the number over here. And once the marks are being totaled, it will appear onto the draft that is towards the left hand side. You can see that, and then you can click on return. Like if you want to see you want to share the marks with the students, you can click on return. You want to add any private comment for the same thing, you can add private comments here as well. Right?
So here we were right here at the inviting of the guardian. So once you invite, so if you give me a thumbs up if you saw the process, how we could invite someone and then look at the Gmail, the notification. If that was done, if I can see a thumbs up right there, if that was clear, perfect. Thank you so much for that. So once that is there, the guardian summary, we are good to go. The parents are there, and you can always remove it from these 3 dots, adding email student, email guardian, remove, mute, invite guardians, or remove the guardian. So I can remove guardian for Jasmine Bhutani, and it will be removed from all the classes right there. So I think that's about guardian summary, and we are done. So we're going to move on to our quiz. So our MCQ for today, a quick check on Google Classroom. So with this, we've done our archiving, rubric, grading, downloading it, and then guardian summary. Now, while creating rubrics for an assignment within Classroom, we can export the rubric as. Can you export it as document, sheet, CSV file, or PDF? This will be like a multiple choice. If ever you see there are no options given. So if there is not select any two, select anyone, there's only one correct answer. So Shifali ma'am, Hema ma'am, if you can help me with A, B, C, or D, what are the options that we are getting?
Mainly the participants are typing B.
B. So I think we've got that message very clear. That's always read the question, what are they asking? Exporting rubric or exporting the grades? So perfect, it is B. Next, guardian email summaries from Google Classrooms are. Now here, if you see, the keyword is select all that apply. So there will be more than one correct answers. So send to guardians regularly based on preferences. So you can choose weekly or monthly, or it's on by default. Available to all users in Google Workspace for education teacher accounts. And it is limited to 1 guardian per learner. Ma'am, what are the options now?
It's A and C.
Did I disclose that too soon? It is A and C. So you, from your end as a parent, if you are a parent, you can choose your preferences. As a teacher, it is available in the Workspace for Education teacher account. You will not see this option in your personal accounts if you have a look at that. Last one, guardians play an important role in students' learning. How can teacher leverage Google Classroom to open communication pathways with guardians? Again, there are no multiple choice questions. It doesn't say 1, 2, 3, or 4 or select all. So there's only one correct answer. Please have a look at the words very carefully. A teacher can invite guardian to a Google group or chat. A teacher can use Gmail to send an email to all guardians to see if they'd like to receive weekly updates. A teacher can use Google Form to collect feedback on what information guardians would like to receive. And D, a teacher can invite guardian to receive email summaries about the students' work in class.
We are putting D over here.
D. So yes, we are right. I think we are good to go then. Moving on to the next topic, and from here I would pass it on to Shefali ma'am.
Ma'am. So here, docs is being used by everyone. I hope on a regular basis, definitely. When we are using technology, we have to prepare document for several purposes, right? So, what are the skills that you will master right now throughout the session? As in, how to insert any image and position, that is also called as image optimization. How we can download any document as a PDF without using any further tool. Then, what are smart chips? Right? How to translate a document to a different language, totally different language. Then what all add-ons we can use over here. How to cite anything, what are citations. Here I would like to add on one more thing, that we need to cover Google Scholar as well, right? So I'll try to link that Google Scholar with citation, and those who are actually involved with the scholarly article thing, they will connect it really very well. But I'll try my level best to make it this thing very simple so that you can understand it, right? So, like, for what all purpose we can create a document. Document can be created for any particular thing, be it for an official purpose, be it for creating a speech, for creating a project proposal, collaborating with other educators, or for the students as well, for writing reports, books, editing articles, making out the syllabus, creating content and sharing it with the students, right? And also create a print friendly schedule as well. So docs has got lot many use cases, and we can actually enhance the productivity of Google document by using various add-ons as well, right? So that we'll be exploring little later while if we have time, definitely, right? So what are the things we are going to learn now? We'll start with inserting tables into a document, inserting images with docs, crop, adjust images, then how to create table of content, hyperlink, how to make a hyperlink, hyper document, then how we can add mathematical equations. We will be using Google Translate also, then how to alert the collaborators, as in there is some changes that has been done into the document, right? Because that's the most important thing that I personally feel, that if I have shared a document with one of my colleague or say with multiple colleagues, so they should get to know if I'm doing any changes, or I should also get to know if they have done any changes, right? It shouldn't be like, okay, when I'm opening a document, oh my God, there is a change over here, right? It shouldn't be a surprise for us. So we can actually notify each other. Then how to use document as a hyperdoc. So these are very beautiful features of Google Doc that we are going to learn. You must have. I request you to please put yourself on mute. That will be great. Okay. So we will let's go ahead, as in how to go ahead with these topics. Okay. So here, since this is a hands-on project, if you are working parallelly, I'll request you that you can open your Google document, and if you wish to perform the task parallelly, you can perform the task parallelly as well. So I already have some sample documents over here where I will be referring it in between with you all, as in to give you more clarity, right? So just to open a blank document, I'll open a fresh tab. In the Omni box itself, I can directly type as in docs.new. I'm just opening a blank new document. This you must have covered in your level 1 session. So whenever we create a document, we always name it, right? So this is an untitled document, and I'm going to rename it as, just for practice, right? So I'll name it as Smart Canvas. Now, why Smart Canvas? Because we are going to work into it using very advanced features, as in say smart chips, building blocks. So we will be opening a smart page over into it using, you can say, icons as well. So that makes it a smart canvas. So remember this terminology. That's why I'm naming it as a smart canvas, right? So I'll just rename it as Smart Canvas. Now, for example, I need to create a document for my students, say fifth graders, on a topic Incredible India, right? Now I need to add content in that. I need to add images. I need to add tables in it. How can I go about it? So first of all, I'll add the title over here as in Incredible India. So I'm just writing here the title, Incredible India. right? And I'll just make this a title. So from where I can make it a title, usually we change the format, we increase the font size, we'll change the alignment, we change the color of it, right? But in Google document, we have a standard size for different styles of text. For example, for heading 1, a different size, for heading 2, a different size. So I'll just go ahead with the normal text, we'll make it a title, right? So once this is a title, I will just select it as a title, and then we'll change the alignment and we'll bring this into the center. Now, why India is incredible, or say what are the monuments that I would like to cover under it. So here I would like to list down few of the monuments, but I would like to list it within a table. Okay, so how can I go about it? I'll just go into the insert option, the menu option that's there onto the top in the menu bar. We'll scroll down to the table option, and here you will get the option of inserting rows and columns, right? There is building blocks also that gives us a format basically, so I can use any particular format that's already given over here. We can always modify that. So once you know how to create a table, how to modify a table, you can always modify these building blocks as well, right? So here, say I want to just create 3 rows or 3 columns, and then I would like to create 3 rows as well, or say 4 rows. I'm just selecting that, and then we'll click over here, okay, enter, so that my table gets inserted. So my table is available over here. Now I want to add here as certain points within the table, so I can add the text. For example, here I'm just adding serial number, and I want to reduce the size for this because it's too broad for it. I'll just shift this line towards my left hand side, right, and I'll adjust it. So basic formatting, definitely we all know, right? So I'll not invest much time over there. Now here I would just like to add on few monuments name, right? So here I'll just add as in say list of monuments, and any remarks if you want to add, you can write that as well, right? We'll add the serial number as in say 1, 2, and 3, and I'm just going to list down few of the monuments. So the first one, say Taj Mahal. Second one, say India Gate. And third one, for example, Mysore Palace. Right, so here's my table already, and I have added the content into it. Right, now moving ahead, as in say I want to add a very detailed file. I already have few files. I'll just pick up some random file. I want to share this document with one of my teacher, also 2 of my teachers, so that they can add here a file related to a detailed content related to Taj Mahal, related to India Gate, related to Mysore Palace. This is the task that I'm giving to my teachers, right? To my educators, fellow educators. So here, what will I do? I can add a placeholder. Now, how can I add a placeholder, right? So I'll just get into the insert option. Scroll down here, you get an option of smart chips, right? So once you come here under smart chip, either you directly add the content within it, like if I add date, so it will give me the option of inserting the date within it, right? But I want to add a placeholder because I want my co-teachers to do the task, right? So how can I go about it? I'll just go ahead with the insert option. We'll click on smart chips. We'll scroll down to placeholder, and here I want them to attach a file. So I'll click on file. That's it. So this is a placeholder that I have added. Right. Second thing, again, I want to do the same thing for India Gate, that, okay, they need to add a file. Again, I'll go to the insert option, scroll down to smart chips, and I can insert a placeholder over here, be it a file, be it the location you want to add the date when it got formed, actually, any placeholder you want to add, you can add that. Right, so we can keep on adding the smart chips over here. Now, next is, for example, say I want to add a image over here of few of the monuments, right? For example, I want to write here about Taj Mahal, and then I would like to add an image for the same thing. So how can I go about it, right? So this is going to be a heading for me. First of all, Taj Mahal is going to be a heading for me, because I'm going to write content about it. So I'll just select this text, Taj Mahal, We'll get into the text style part here in the toolbar where normal text is written. We'll click, scroll down. I'll select it as heading 1. So you can see here onto the left-hand side of my screen, this is called as navigation menu, right? So here everything is being added up. Okay, so it helps me to find the content within my document based on to my headings that I'm adding in my document or whatever subheadings I'm adding. So from where do we add that? We always add that from the text style and we select the content from here, right? Okay, now I want to add some text about Taj Mahal. So I'll search for an information. I'm opening a fresh tab and say I'm looking here something related to Taj Mahal, and I'll just come over here. So there are a lot many websites where I can get the information, right? I can just open up any of the website from here. I can copy the content, definitely curate it as per my students' age group, whichever I am dealing with, and then I'll modify the content as per my choice and can give it to them, right? So I'll just opening it, will copy the content, will paste over there. Okay, I'll just open another website. Right, so I'm just copying the first paragraph over here. And when I get into my document, I'll just paste it. Paste without formatting, right? So here is the text. Now, I have copied this information from a website. So whenever we give project to our students, right, we always ask them to mention from where they have got the content, right? So they need to create a bibliography. So same way here, we can create citations. We can add citations from which particular website we have got this piece of information. Now, how to add citation? I'll just get into the tools part, right? We'll scroll down. There is an option of citations over here. I'll just click on citation. And there are various types of citations. I need to add a citation over here. I'll click on add citation source. Now my source is not a book, rather it's a website, right? So I'll just scroll down to website. I'll click on website, and then here at the bottom, you can see there is an option of search with a URL. I need to add the link of that particular website. So I'll just get into the page from where I've got the content, and I'll copy the URL of that same page. Okay, we'll come back to my document and we'll paste it here. Search the URL, right? Now here, once I have done, it will just search the entire information of that particular website, when that website was created, whatever the source is, everything is coming. Now, few things are missing over here, but then wherever it shows an asterisk, we need to add that. We need to complete that citation. So I'll just go ahead as in say cite manually, and wherever there's an asterisk, you can type that manually, or else what you can do, you can directly come here, click on continue. It will fetch all the information that's already there. And wherever there is an asterisk, you can put a random info here, right? Now here, since this is a website that we have got, we have got the information from Wikipedia, but when we are using Google Scholar, we get scholarly articles over there. So there, all these information you will get filled automatically. Why? Because people are adding their scholarly articles in Google Scholar, right? So first of all, I'll just fill out this particular piece of information. Say I'm just adding a random year, 2005, and we'll click on say add citation source. So here is one source that has been added within my document. Similarly, I want to add some other information about any other monument. For example, I'm writing here India Gate. I will not add the information here, right? But just an example, I'll change the heading here. This is again my heading 1 about India Gate. I'll add the content, but say here I need to add an image for India Gate, right? How can we go about it? So again, I'll just get into the insert option in the menu bar. We'll click on image, and I can add and search image from anywhere. It can be from my desktop, from web store, from drive, from photo, camera, URL, anywhere, right? So I'll just go ahead with search the web option, and I'm going to search for an image of India Gate. So within the document, actually, I can look for the image here. I'll just type as in India Gate and enter the images. Lot many images will come up. I'll just pick up a random image from here, and then we'll see the image optimization options, like how we can modify this image, right? So once I have selected an image, I'll click onto the insert option, that is right hand side extreme bottom corner. So here is my image. Okay, now once my image is there, I'll just close this citation page. So whenever you have to add a citation, you will always go to the tools option, open to citation, and add the citation, right? Now here is my image. I want to reduce the size. I want to place it into my document somewhere. So this feature is actually very useful. Those who are actually creating worksheets within documents, they are aware of it, as in we can always go ahead with various options of text wrapping, inline, break text, behind text, or in front of the text. These are all image optimization options, right? So I can increase the size of the image. I can add border into it from the menu bar itself. Like I can increase the border width also over here. You can change the border format as well. And if you want, you can change the color as well. That's entirely your choice. So this is called as image optimization, right? That gives us the option of playing with the image basically. Okay, now another beautiful feature that the Google Docs has got is, for example, here you are a mathematics teacher, mathematics educator, and you need to here, add on mathematics questions.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Say, yes, miss.
How did you add the image? Could you please repeat it again?
Sure, ma'am. For adding the image, you just need to get into the insert option, image option, and scroll down here to search the web. And you can search for the image over here. You can type what image you want. Just type that and you will get the results. For example, attachment, right? So it will come up. Okay, you can pick up the image and click on insert.
Ma'am, how do we know which source the image has come from to give integrity?
Yes. Now from here, we actually don't get to know, right? So if we need to add citation, we should always open a fresh tab, then look for an image. Okay, then look for an image over here, and then you can add the URL of the image as a hyperlink, or say in the citation. Right now, for example, you want to write something about India Gate over here. How can I get a scholarly article? Means some recognized article. I don't want a random article in regular Google search. So I can actually get into Google Scholar. Now Google Scholar is another page only, right? I'll go over there. Now here you can look for any topic. Those who create research papers, those who work with the research paper, those who are doing some kind of report, they have to write something, they can come here onto Google Scholar. They can type here the content. For example, I'm typing here, I want a content related to India Gate, right? So I'll just type here India Gate, enter. Now many content is available. You can see the entire information, right? And these are all authentic, you can say, articles that we get. And these are all recognized ones. You can see even here, like how many people have cited this article. There are other related articles. How many versions are there? How many times this article has been revised by the people? Who has written this article? Who published this article? All the information comes over here, right? So you can open any of the article from here. You can get the content from here, copy, and then you can add that to your citation source. Right? So you are getting a scholarly article from here that is actually a authentic one. And the best part is, as an educator, if you want to create your own profile in Google Scholar, you can create your own profile also. Now, how to create your own profile in Google Scholar? I just need to be in Google Scholar. right? So once you are there in your Google Scholar, you can see onto the top right corner, there's an option of my profile and there's an option of my library also. Like if you like any article, you can save that. It will be added into your library. And whenever you have time, you can always come open your library, go through that article, right? And if you want to create your own profile, you can click on my profile and you need to add your details over here, right? Add the entire information. Click and then you need to add one of your article and you can create your page. Okay, so if you are interested in creating your papers, you want to publish your research papers, you can always use Google Scholar for the same thing. Right, okay, now coming back to my document over here, say I want to add a hyperlink. A hyperlink means I want that, okay, when I'm sharing this document, my students, they can see a video related to India Gate, or they can visit any particular website, or they can open another document related to that particular topic, right? So we can always create a hyperlink. Now, how to create a hyperlink? For example, I'm typing here as in to know more, click here. Right? So once I have added here to know more, click here. I want whenever they click on this word, click here, it should take them to that page. It can be a document, it can be a YouTube video, it can be any file within your drive, it can be any website page, anything that has got a link, right? You can add that link, right? Now, how to add that? For example, I'm looking for a video, right? So I'll just open my, say, video over here and I'll just look for a YouTube video on India Gate. Right, so I'll just look for a content, say India Gate. Multiple videos will come over here. Right, I want to add this video within my document. So once my video is there, I'll just open that video, get the link of it. We'll click on share, copy the link, right? I'll go to my document and here I have already selected, right? So we can select the text. Now there are various ways to add link. Either you right click on the text after selecting and you can click on insert link, or else you can use this toolbar. There is a link icon over here as well. Or else you can go to the insert option and here also there is a link icon. So there are various ways through which we can do the same task, right? So any of it you can select and you can just add the link over here and click on apply. So now this is my hyperlink that has been created. And this feature I have used for sharing the plan of action for the sports day, where actually you can see we can use smart chips, we can use these hyperlinks actually when we are creating our plan for something, right? Say this is the formation that I wanted for my sports day for my students. And then what music should be played when formation 1 is going on? What music should be played when formation 2 is going on? So the music was also added here with the help of the link. So these are the chips that's been added, and we can create hyperlink also. You can add the text and then insert link over it, right? So it will work. It takes you to the other page, right? Now, moving on to the next part, say you are a mathematics educator or a science educator, right? And you want to add here subscripts, superscripts, mathematical equations. How to go about it? We need not to use any kind of extensions or add-ons over here. Rather, we can simply get into the insert option in the menu bar. We can scroll down over here onto the simple symbols option, right? Under symbol, you will get the equations option, right? So you need to keep your cursor here. Scroll down to equation, click on equation, and you will see that in the toolbar here, right below the toolbar, there's another bar for equation. So we can select from here which equation you want to add. But the concern is only that every time you need to redo this entire thing. For example, when I come here for this, say, maths operation, when I click here, say I want to add some fractions, I'll just click here, right? I'll increase the size of it. Say I want to write here as in 2ab, and then bottom, I'll click again and I'll write here as in, say, 4ab, right? A very simple thing I have added. Then again, I'll click outside the box, plus sign. Now again, I need to add something, say square root, or I need to add something else. Now what needs to be done? This is inactive now. How to make it active? Again, I have to go to the insert option. Again, I'll come here onto the symbols. And again, I'll come here onto the equation part. So when I click on equation over here, right now again, this is active. I can reuse it, right? So I'll just want to add a square root over here. I can write anything, right? So you can insert mathematical equations, subscript, superscript using this feature. But only the thing that you need to remember is you need to get into the insert option again and again. You need to come here onto the symbols and then use this equation feature from here, right? Now, the very important thing, for example, I want to create the index of my document. How can I create an index?
Shefali ma'am, can I intervene? Just a quick thing on new equation.
Yes, yes.
If you click on the new equation on the top left, that also highlights it.
This thing.
Yes, once
Yes,
you click
thank
on
you,
it, it
thank you
highlights.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Okay. So here, say, here you can see if I want to add an index to my document, if my document is very lengthy, right? I want to add certain index to it. So usually index has got page numbers, index has got the topics within it, right? So how can we create that? So that can be done with the help of table of content. But to create table of content, it's important that you create this navigation menu. And creation of navigation menu is being done how? By adding headings and subheadings, right? So if you have not created headings and subheadings, these topics will not come up here into the navigation menu, and you won't be able to create your table of content. Now, how to create that? Say right after Incredible India, here I just want to add an index that I'm writing. Okay. Right now below this, I want my index to come, the table of content. I'll get into the insert option. Scroll down, there is page elements option. And within page elements option, there is an option of table of content. So it has got 3 different styles. Which style you want, you can always select that. Say, I want a plain text. So what will happen here? Now see all the headings that I have added only 2 headings over here, as in Taj Mahal and India Gate, right? So that has come up. And here is this. So when I click on India Gate, right, it is actually linked with the topic and it will take me to that content, to that part of the document. So I can navigate to my document from table of content also, and I can navigate within my document from the navigation menu as well. But with table of content, what happens? We get the page numbers also. Okay. So this is your table of content, and say every time I need to actually open, if I need to insert equation or I need to insert a file within my document, I can press @ within my document. That makes it a smart canvas basically, and I get these options over here. So when we press @ within the document, we can add any people, we can add any smart chips, we can add building blocks, we can add files, calendar events, these options, right? So anything, say you want to draft an email, right? So I'll just click on, say, email draft, and I'm sharing my document with my colleagues, right? And they need to see the draft whatever I have created, okay, whom I'm sending this message to, they also need to approve the same thing. I can add persons. Now these are the placeholders that are given over here, right? So you can add more of placeholders if you want. You can remove also again. I will be just adding, say, few people over here. Okay. I want another person to be added. It's working really slow. Right? We can add the other person as well. You want to add the subject, as in say this is regarding GCE L2 certification. So I'll just add here that. And then I want to draft a mail over here. I will draft my entire mail that, dear Hema ma'am, this is a query regarding such and such thing. Kindly resolve the same. So whatever text I will be adding, the entire mail will come up. Now the best part is my collaborators can also see this thing when I actually share my document with them. And when I'm clicking here onto the share option, I hope you must have done this in level 1. You can add their email IDs over here, right? And for example, I'm adding here an email ID. For example, I'm adding this email ID. Now, what access you want to give them, you can always manage. Editor, commenter, or viewer, that they can only view the document. They can just give their feedback as a commenter, or they can modify your entire document. Means they can work with you parallelly. Up to you. You want to give viewer access, commenter access, or editor access. You can select the same thing, and then you can click on send. Right? So once you will click on send, they will get access to the document. Now I want, okay, if they are doing any changes in my document or they are adding any content, I should be notified. Or if I do certain changes in my document, they should be notified. How that is possible? So that's possible through the notification. So at the top, you can see here, right hand side corner, there is a comment icon, right? So when I click on this comment icon, actually, they can be notified. There is a bell icon at the corner, and I can turn on the notifications or turn off the notifications accordingly. All comments where you are mentioned, none. Now, how to mention people within the comment, right? How can I mention anybody within a collaborative document? So here, first of all, if you want to notify them, you can always toggle on the options, or else you can just cancel that. Now, I want to add a comment within the document. For example, change the subject of this email, right? So I'll just select the subject, okay? Again, there are various ways to add comments. So the moment I select it here, there are icons coming, right? You can add a comment from here, or else you can add the comment from the toolbar over here as well, or else you can right click as well and you can add the comment from here also. There is a comment option that comes over here, right? I can click here on comment. For example, I'm adding as in change the subject. Before the mail goes to the person, just change the subject, right? But what if there are, say, 4 to 5 collaborators within the document? Who is going to take that responsibility? I need to mention, right? Say Savita is there. Then there are other 3 to 4 collaborators. Sonia is there. Then there is Harpreet is there, right? I want Miss Harpreet to change the subject of it. So what I need to do, I will just add here as in @ and then mention the email ID of the person whom I want to delegate this task, right? So I just need to add the email ID over here. I'll just add a random one, right? And click on submit. Now what will happen? The concerned person will get a notification as in you have been mentioned in the document, means you have been assigned a task within the document. You need to do this, right? So it will tell them that you have been mentioned in the document. So they will take the action. Okay, so it's always good to mention people within the document. Otherwise, who will take the responsibility of doing the task? And say once Miss Harpreet has done the needful over here, so now how will I get to know that ma'am has done the needful over here? So she can just simply after completing the task, click on this tick mark, right? So when I click on this tick, it means the comment has been resolved. I have done that task, right? Whatever is being mentioned. Now say the mail is ready, for example. I want to send this mail to this such and such people. How can I send this mail? Do I need to copy everything from here? No. It's a smart canvas, right? You can see that there is a mail icon. I can click here. It will directly draft my entire mail in the Gmail with the people, with the whatever content I have added. Everything will get drafted and you can simply just send it from your Gmail directly, right? So that was all about comment, alert, and use of smart chips, right? Now, another thing, say you have created the entire document in English. There are few students, those who are not comfortable with English, but they are quite comfortable with Hindi. Since I want them to understand the topic right, I want to change this entire content to Hindi language. How can I go about it? So within my document, if I go here onto the tools option, right, and scroll here, there is an option of translate document. So I can click on translate document. You can rename the document. Another copy of the same document will get created. You need to choose the language in which language you want to change the document. I'll just click on say choose a language. We'll select a language over here, whichever language you want to go ahead. For example, I want Hindi language. So I'll just select here Hindi, right? And click on translate. So another copy of the same document in a different language will get created within my drive and the original copy remains also there, right? So here is my document. Yes, I won't say that it is 100% proper thing that you will get. There might be few things that you need to always proofread, right? But 95% of the things are done over here. Okay, now I want to share this document as a PDF with my students or with my candidates. How can I convert it into a PDF and download it as a PDF? I just need to go to the files option. Okay, go to the files option once this is ready. So when I click on file option, scroll down, there is an option of download. I just need to click on download and here there's another option coming up. So there are many formats that are available. I can download this even as a Microsoft Word file as well. I want to download this as a PDF. So it is giving me here an option of a PDF document. So I just need to click on PDF document and it will get saved in my desktop, right? So any doubts or any queries still here?
No, ma'am, all is good.
All clear? Right. Okay, great. So here that was about the smart canvas, about the Google Scholar also that I connected throughout. Now we'll move ahead as in what's the quiz. Let's check your understanding as well, right? What all is there in the question answer form as in you can say. So what types of media can be linked in a hyperdoc? Select all that apply. Anyone with the link? Google Docs, videos, or pictures. So what is it that we are getting?
Lot of A's, ma'am.
Anyone with the link? Google Doc, videos, or pictures? Hyperdoc. What type of media can be linked in a hyperdoc? It's all, as in anyone with the link. Google Doc can also be anyone with the link. Videos can be with the link. Pictures can be with the link, right? So here, all of these are true actually. Okay, next, what value does the Google Translate in Docs bring to an assignment? Select all that apply. So the entire text of a Google Doc can be converted from one language to another language. The entire presentation can be translated in a few clicks. Convert the document into text, into a spoken audio file in any language. Exclusive access to educational resource online. The power of search is tightly integrated within the application. So translate when we are using, right here, I would just like to add on. It can be integrated with any of the websites as well. It can be used in in your slides also. It can be used with other documents as well, right? Because we have translate as a tool available within the 9 dots as well.
Ma'am, lot of ABs, ABD, ABC, ABC, ABC.
So here we have got A, B, E. The entire text of Google Docs can be converted, the entire presentation can be converted. Then the power of search is tightly integrated within the application as well, right? Now, scholars, we have done as in Google Scholar, what all we can do. It's a useful tool for academic purpose, you can say, for research work, for citing the original work of the people, basically. And we can use it for academic sources, for getting the academic source, for searching for any particular article by a particular author, for request result within a date range, and correctly format citations we get. And we can use the related articles feature to find additional research related to specific search results as well, right? So here we did the citation part, right? Now moving ahead, as in just check your understanding related to Google Scholar. So what is the best description and use of Google Scholar in a classroom?
Waiting for answers.
The options are too long to read.
Yeah. A, B, B, A, B, D, B, B, C.
Yes.
It's a mixed
B,
A, B. It's a lot of B's coming now.
right. A useful search tool to find academic or scholarly source, basically for research purposes and citation within. That's all for the session. I'll just stop